In this Daily Drop, we're going to talk about one of my absolute favorite books on lighting. So let's go. All right, kids, here we are. It's time to go back to school, and we are talking about what I consider to be probably my favorite book on lighting when it comes to lighting people, portraits. It's as much a book that can apply to cinematography or motion capture as it does to photography. It doesn't deal with that part of cinematography, which is camera movement, but it's really a book about lighting people. And what I love about it, by the way, a book that was originally published in 1948, continued to be put out through, I believe, the late 70s, no longer in print, but you can still find it. What I love about it is it's really breaking down the basics. And what Walter Nurnberg does is he essentially talks about his definitions of different types of lateral positions of lights, where they are in relationship to the camera, your subject matter, so on and so forth. Well, really, there's the camera position, there's your subject matter, and then there's a lateral position of where the light is in relationship to those things. And then elevations of those lights, and then starts to break that down even more, where he starts to talk about the types of lights that are being used. So it's these combinations of lateral position, elevation, number of fixtures, and where your subject matter is in relationship to that. Of course, that relates to where your camera is as well. Are they looking off camera, to camera, so on and so forth. And he starts to break down all of these different, that doesn't help when we're looking at just text. Let's get some more pictures, kids. All of these different combinations throughout the book, and you can see visual examples. But to me, the value is taking this base information and then going to school for yourself. Go ahead and get somebody as subject matter, whether that's a person, a mannequin, whatever. It's okay. You got to figure this stuff out. You have to learn lighting and start to figure out what happens when you put a spotlight in a backlight position, when you start to change the elevation of that backlight. You take soft light in front of your subject matter and you start to change its position. And if you take the information from lighting from portraiture and you put it into a real world practical use, you will learn so much about lighting and lighting people. Now, there's great tools that we have right now where you can take the information from this book, and if you don't have access to a model, you don't have a mannequin or something that you can use to do setups in your space, then take something like Set a Light, which I've been talking about, and you can set up things inside of there with these different types of lighting fixtures and modifiers, and you can start to see how all of them come together to create different types of moods. You can do all of these light setups inside of this book in Set a Light, but really it's going to be most valuable to you when you start to put that into practice in the real world. Now, if you go to Amazon, you might see one of these books and it might be $70 or $50. Don't buy that. Go to other buying options, or go to eBay, or go to Barnes & Noble. You should be able to find one of the pressings of this book in good condition or very good condition for somewhere between $10 and $25 US. If you've got to pay $4 or $5 for shipping, I think that's fair. I wouldn't pay more than $30, $35 US for the book. But this, again, one of my absolute favorite books on lighting. It's Lighting for Portraiture by Walter Nurnberg. Don't forget to, and I'll see you on the next episode of The Daily Drop.